We just, over the last few minutes, literally shot out a boat, a drug-carrying boat, a lot of drugs in that boat. And you'll be seeing that and you'll be reading about that. It just happened moments ago. And our great general, head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who's been so incredible, including what took place in Iran, knocking out potential nuclear power for a long time to come. I think within a month they would have had it if we didn't do what we did. But he gave us a little bit of a briefing, and you'll see. And there's more where that came from. We have a lot of drugs pouring into our country, coming in for a long time. And we just, these came out of Venezuela and coming out very heavily from Venezuela. A lot of things are coming out of Venezuela. So we took it out, and you'll get to see that after this meeting is over. Do you have any questions, please? Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Tuberville, you talked about the cost savings
Yeah.
associated with this announcement. Can you talk about the strategic benefits by having Space Force Command headquartered in
U.S. military operations far beyond its borders? In his own words, he says American forces shot out a drug-carrying boat that had left Venezuela. The president's choice of language, blunt, direct and dramatic, left little ambiguity about what he wanted the public to take away: a message of action, strength and decisive intervention. In remarks delivered at the White House, Trump declared, "We just, over the last few minutes, literally shot out a boat, a drug-carrying boat, a lot of drugs in that boat." And you'll be seeing that and you'll be reading about that. It just happened moments ago. He went on to praise the role of his top general, the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, linking the operation not only to America's ongoing fight against narcotics, but also to broader US security actions, even referencing prior strikes that he claimed disrupted Iran's nuclear ambitions. The tone was unmistakable. The US, in Trump's telling, is on offense and is prepared to act unilaterally. To understand the weight of this moment, it is important to place it in context. For years, Washington has accused Venezuela of acting as a central hub for narcotics shipments headed north. Intelligence reports have consistently suggested that a significant portion of cocaine flowing into the United States passes through Venezuelan territory or its surrounding waters. Officials have accused elements within Venezuela's own government and military of aiding these networks, which American authorities call the Cartel of the Suns. Caracas has always denied these allegations, insisting that Washington fabricates evidence to justify pressure, sanctions and interference. Yet this announcement, made casually from a White House podium, suggests a sharp escalation. Trump's words point to a direct military strike, the destruction of a vessel at sea, and a message that more such actions may be coming. He emphasized, and there's more where that came from. We have a lot of drugs pouring into our country, coming in for a long time. And these came out of Venezuela and coming out very heavily from Venezuela. So we took it out. The timing of this declaration could not be more critical. US-Venezuela relations are already at a breaking point. President Nicolas Maduro
Kahala Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Kadash, and that one of the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the peace that takes to the Akim doing his work in true sincerity and the four corners of the earth. All right, I want to do this lesson, all right, on this little bit of breaking news. You know, the president of Babylon, all right, the king of Babylon, you know, the mad king, all right, the cruel lord, you know, hey, the the president of peace, as he called himself. You know, that's what he was declaring himself before this election. You know, that he was going to be the president of peace. You know, he's going to stop the Russia-Ukraine war. All right, and he was going to keep America away from war. All right, but this is what you people get. All right, for trusting. Okay, in man. All right, mainly talking about you Jakes. Okay, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, because since he's been in office, all he's done is provocate war. Okay, and he ain't slowed down that situation in Russia and Ukraine at all. All right. They still getting laid down daily. All right. People are still dying daily. You know, the kill count is up to 1 million and more. You know, so regardless of these or what these talking heads, say, all right, the Most High is always in control. You know, and can change the nation, change the minds of these nations overnight. All right, but it's always going towards, all right, that NWO, man. Okay, and instituting the MOTB. All right, regardless of who's in office. Okay, there's no bipartisanism, bipartisanism. All right, a left and right paradigm when it comes to these laws being set. You know, these bills being signed. Where's the bipartisanism then? You know, all right, when you signing things like after 9/11, you know, you signed the Patriot Act. You know, what was the bipartisanism? God damn, that word tripping me up. You know, what was the left right paradigm when that was rolled up? All right, when a bill that Trump did recently, the big beautiful bill. Well, what was it at, man? You know, what was the left saying? Nah, we ain't gonna pass this and getting 0 votes on it. No, okay, because they all go along with the agenda, man. All right, just like Joe Biden didn't dismantle the Space Force. Okay, that wasn't dismantled in Biden's presidency. Okay, he encouraged it. All right, why? Because the devil knows, all right, that the Most High is sending his son back, man. All right, on that chariot. Okay, so Esau not gonna dismantle that, man. All right, Esau is gearing up for interstellar warfare. You know, I just seen when I was watching one of these clips on the Venezuelan boat attack that they went into talking about the Space Force and them building a command center. All right, and can't remember the name of the city, but in Alabama. Okay, so Esau know what the hell's going on. All right, it's you 2/3 Jakes. All right, and you damn everyday Americans that don't know what the hell is going on. Just like when you go in the comments, all right, and all them are rooting on Nero. You know, encouraging it. All right, encouraging war. All right, encouraging death. You know, which half of that shit is probably bots, man, because you don't find too many people, you know, still championing Donald T right now, man. All right, except for the hardcores. All right, but the ones that own businesses, all right, the ones that are in oil and gas, the ones that are in steel and aluminum, the ones that are in international trade, okay, they have a lot to say about this guy right now. All right, because he's single-handedly, well, not single-handedly, because inflation also plays a big role in this. All right, because the tariffs were just officially activated. All right, none of the previous tariffs weren't even activated yet, man. Okay, so all them price gouging and all them prices going up, guess what? That's due to inflation, man. You know, so these tariffs are kind of in a way being used for cover, you know, for the inflation rate as well, man. Okay, because they still ain't giving you the real inflation rate. Motherfuckers putting out inflation rates talking about 3% and shit. You got to be a damn dummy to believe that shit, man. Do it feel like things have only gone up 3%? Nah, I feel like shit is up 20%, you know, 25%, you know, and that's extreme. All right, because your wages didn't go up 25%, your salary didn't go up 25%, you know. This is Psalms chapter 55 and verse 21. You know, just on that boat incident, you know, this was done in international waters, or I believe in Venezuelan waters in the Caribbean. Okay, this was done without due process. All right, you know, the United States did not reach out to Venezuela and get permission to do this act. Okay, and they just straight up struck the ship and killed everybody on the ship. You know, where's the evidence? Where's the so-called due process? You know, that America was always championing on. You know, oh, we do things the right way. We do things the legal way. You know, Now, I mean, hey, they just striking motherfuckers, man. You know, under Nero. All right. He don't got to go to Congress. He ain't got to go to the Senate. None of that shit, man. He ain't got to go through none of the checks and balances of the of the U.S. government, man. Which, if you still believe in America and the government and the Constitution and your vote matters, you a damn dummy, man. You a moron. All right, because hey, this dude Nero's getting away with more than any president has ever gotten away with, man. Okay, he's doing all kind of unconstitutional and illegal shit. All right, and you know, hey, in his previous term, they were trying to impeach him for some tiny shit. You know, now all of a sudden, nobody wants to impeach. You know, but that's that bipartisanship for you, man. They said the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they drawn swords. Yeah, I'm the peace president. You know, I'm gonna give you peace and safety. All right, just like now. You know, even with the him sending out the National Guard troops. You know, we're gonna make the city safe. Now you're saying he going to Chicago. You know, he said that he's going to Chicago now. All right, and the mayor of Chicago and I believe the governor, you know, is saying that they don't want him in Chicago. All right, which is not legal. It's not a legal act to put the U.S. military, all right, and try to put force on civilians, man. Okay, the reason why he was able to get away with it in D.C., all right, is because D.C. is not a like say a independent state, you know. So that's why he's able to get away with that, all right, in D.C. All right, but if he does it in any of these states, you know, it's gonna be a bit of a showdown, man. You know, now you got people on the left, they the ones that's telling you, oh, this is a police state. You know, this is this and this is that. You know, which this shit is crazy, man. The roles then totally switched. You know, first it was the right so-called conservatives talking about they anti-big government and all this shit. You know, but when they get a devil in office, you know, that shares the same hatred for Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, then they go along with whatever. You know, showing you that you people are really full of shit, man. You know, just like Alex Jones, man. If you really, if Esau, if the elites gave your ass a seat at that table, you know, and you didn't have to go through the hard life that you went through, you know, you would have been doing the same wicked shit that the elites of Esau is doing, man. Okay, the same thing. Even you damn six-pack crackers. You know, that's why you ignore all that 1776 shit. You know, when it comes to your when it comes to your dear Nero, man. You know, and that's why a lot of you gonna take the MOTB, man. You people ain't the true resistance, man. You know, the Most High is gonna put His Spirit into the men of the Lord. You know, and to the 1/3 of Israel and 144,000 to resist. You know, taking that MOTB, man, and actually trusting in this government, man, trusting in this damn devil. You know, but that's all I had. You know, this dude, Donald T, is trying to make a provocation, all right, to go to battle with Asher. You know, and all you people that's eager for it, all right, send your sons out there, man. Shit, don't matter to me. Send your sons out there to go die. All right, because them Asherites ain't gonna give up easy, man. Okay, because your coup d'etat didn't work, you know. So now, if Esau can't get you through the financials, all right, through ruining your economy, which that's already been done in Venezuela, and if he can't get you through a coup d'etat, all right, installing his puppet, you know, what's next? War, you know, occupation. All right. So we'll see what happens, man. Shalom.